you box good, you can do this, you got this over him, you're gonna have to tighten up this, you're gonna have to do this. You know, it's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass, you will do this to him. It's never like
yes
that.
man type stuff.
When he has, with a person that has big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, you know, and you stay working for a long time.
Terence Crawford opened up about his first chat with Floyd Mayweather after starting camp for the Canelo fight. He said Floyd didn't just hand out compliments, he gave real advice. Mayweather praised Crawford's talent, but told him to stay sharp, reminding him how much experience Canelo brings. The conversation was serious, respectful, and focused completely on fight tactics.
That's a big boy. He's strong. You know, you box good. You can do this. You got this over him. You're gonna have to tighten up this. You're gonna have to do this. You know, it's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass. You will do this to him. It's never like
yes
that.
man type
You
stuff.
know what I mean? It's like, hey, listen. You know, that's a dangerous fight. You know, but
That's the fight.
if it happened, you know, you can win. But you're gonna have to be on your A game.
Floyd Mayweather recently stopped by Terence Crawford's training camp and even got involved in some of the drills to sharpen his edge. Mayweather looked honestly impressed with how focused and skilled Crawford is. He even called him the best fighter in the world today, pointing to his discipline and precision. Their training time wasn't just for show. It was clear Mayweather truly believes Crawford has what it takes to beat a dangerous opponent like Canelo Alvarez. You could feel the mutual respect and the intensity of their sessions showed just how seriously both men are taking the showdown.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number one.
Crawford has long looked up to Mayweather, not just for what he did in the ring, but for how he handled his career and built his legacy. That respect eventually led to a genuine connection between them. Crawford has picked up small tips and bits of advice from Floyd over time, and he really listens. He doesn't just take it in, he puts it to work. Their bond goes beyond boxing. It's rooted in drive, legacy, and a deep understanding of what it takes to reach the top and stay there.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever, keep it real, bro. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting.
Yeah.
I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll be this. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
You like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
In all the recent training footage, Crawford looks laser focused. He's clearly not treating this fight lightly. His conditioning, technique, and movement are all being pushed to the max. Every part of his training is tailored to deal with a bigger, more powerful opponent. The way he's sparring and drilling shows he knows exactly what's on the line. He's sharpening every part of his game so that he's 100% ready for whatever Canelo brings. Heat, music, heat. Mayweather sparked some controversy when he brought up Canelo's history with performance-enhancing drugs. He questioned why the media hasn't been tougher and hinted that certain fighters get treated more favorably. That stirred up mixed reactions across the boxing world. Some fans agreed and said there's a clear, double standard. Others felt Floyd was stirring up drama. Either way, his comments brought back old discussions about fairness and accountability in the sport.
But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. They don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
Mayweather didn't just hype up Crawford. He gave a real, thoughtful breakdown on how to beat someone like Canelo. He looked back on his own fight with him and stressed that strategy matters more than just going and swinging. He told Crawford to stay sharp, focus on timing, and use his brain. Floyd made it clear that this won't be an easy fight. But if anyone has the skill to pull it off, he believes it's Crawford.
Terence Crawford jumping up from 154 to 168 and beating this quote-unquote version of Canelo Alvarez would diminish the accomplishment that Floyd Mayweather accomplished beating his version of Canelo Alvarez. Is it two different versions of Canelo Alvarez? And obviously, Canelo Alvarez is 62 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is obviously bigger. When Floyd fought him, it was at 152 catch weight, but it had no rehydration clause. So you might as well just say it was at 154. Now, two things they have in common is that Floyd Mayweather was 36, 37 years of age. Terence Crawford is 36, 37 years of age, going on 38. So he'll be 38 when he fights Canelo Alvarez. Floyd had already had 2 fights at 154. He had the fight with Miguel Cotto, and he had the fight with Oscar De La Hoya.
Instead of ignoring criticism, Crawford faces it directly. He understands the concerns about moving up in weight and dealing with someone as physically strong as Canelo, but he sees those concerns as part of the challenge, not obstacles to fear. His confidence doesn't come from arrogance, it comes from preparation. He's stepping into this fight to prove a point, not just to compete, but to dominate and silence the doubts once and for all.
That's a fight because of the challenge. Yeah. I love the challenges. And I love the people that I hear them now. You're too little. Canelo gonna break you. He's gonna stop you. You come from 147, that weight too big. This and that. I can hear now. And that just excites me to go in there and just be like, okay, let me prove him wrong once again.
That fight would be gigantic. If Canelo gets through Jamel and then you guys fight, that fight would be gigantic.
And it's crazy because, like, in the past interviews, I was like, man, Canelo too big, man. It's weight classes for a reason. I was like, nah.
Crawford doesn't run from criticism. He faces it head on. He knows people are concerned about him moving up in weight and going against someone as strong as Canelo. But to Crawford, that's just part of the test, not something to be afraid of. His confidence isn't based on ego. It's built on preparation. He's not stepping into this fight just to survive. He's coming in to prove something and to shut down every doubt once and for all.
The Ring magazine, which is owned by Turkey, reported that Canelo and Crawford have agreed to the September date and that it's essentially on. What is your I know this has been rumored and talked about, but now it seems like a done deal. What's your reaction to this?
It's a good fight. It's a good fight for both of them. Good fight for I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think you give him a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say 25 just because of the size.
Good. Crawford is good, and
of course.
I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long, long time. And Crawford, he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long, long time. So you know, Crawford, when he has, with a person that has a big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, you know, and you stay working for a long time, you know, you have a puncher's chance.
David Benavidez has made it clear he's backing Crawford in this one. He feels people are really underestimating what Crawford brings to the ring. Benavidez believes Crawford's skills, focus, and mental toughness give him a real shot at pulling off the upset.
Yeah,
What do you
but
say about that?
I think skills pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I feel like, truthfully, he's not as little as people think. Like, people think he's like very small.
He cut weight to get the 147.
Yes, he's not as small as like people think. It's just he look like it.
Yeah.
So like if you see him and
In person?
and he get on a scale or something, you wouldn't believe that's his weight.
I told somebody the other day he might get on the scale weighing like 166, 167 fighting Canelo, and people wouldn't believe how ripped up and cut up he'll still look. He won't look like he's overweight. Terence Crawford. He gonna look like a solid Terence Crawford.
I think he beat Canelo though. I've been saying.
I
I
gotta beat
remember when he
Canelo
fought when they fought. Go watch an interview after the fight. I literally said I think Terence Crawford would beat Canelo.
Okay, I wasn't saying
Oh,
that.
long time ago.
Yeah.
Though. No cap.
I did tell him after the Smith fight, I said, man, go get Canelo. You the greatest.
Yeah.
That's Aaron.
For sure.
Yeah, it's no question.
No question. Yes.
Actually, back to the you and Terence working together, because you've shared everything you've learned from him. There was fans doing their homework in the Avanesian fight and in the Spence fight, saying actually it looks like Terence may have taken a couple things from Shakur as well, not just Shakur taking things from Terence.
No, that's for sure.
Shakur Stevenson is another strong believer in Crawford. He's been very open about the respect he has for Crawford's boxing ability. Stevenson pushed back against the idea that Crawford is too small for this fight. He said, "Most people don't understand how strong and physically capable Crawford really is." Jeff Mayweather also sees Crawford as a complete fighter, but he warned not to overlook Canelo's power and experience.
Well, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." You know, but who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight. Guys are tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it. And he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's going to say, well, after Madrimov fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. You know, a unified champion that he's been. You know, all of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it. I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, you know, who's going to be able sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.
Teddy Atlas has made his opinion known. He thinks Crawford is too smart and too skilled for Canelo. Atlas pointed out that Crawford's ability to adjust during a fight and figure out his opponent's style gives him a major edge.
Crawford, switch hitter. He did all right in his first fight at 54, but now he'll get more comfortable as a bigger guy. You know, he's actually not that small, this, that, and the other. Yesterday on my program, Ade, I spoke to David Benavidez, and I asked him about this fight, and his response surprised me. I want to play this clip for you and get your response to David's answer. Here it is.
It's a good fight for both of them. Good fight for, I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, you know, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
Yeah, I know you said, like, he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think give him like a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say like 25 just because of the size.
Good. Crawford is good, and
of course.
I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long time, and you know Crawford he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long time. So, you know, Crawford, when he has with a person that has a big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, you know, and you stay working for a long time, you know, you have a puncher's chance.
Okay, so what do you make of that? What do you make of that response? I was a little surprised.
I need to clear up what he meant by 7 out of 10. Does he mean he's giving him a 70% chance to beat Canelo?
Yes.
Is that what it? Wow.
Yes.
I mean, who am I to disagree with Benavidez? Benavidez knows he's boxing, right? I mean, he might have shared the ring with both. I mean, with Terence Crawford. I mean, if anyone else was jumping up from 154 pounds to 168, not named Terence Crawford, I'd say this is crazy and they don't have a chance because they're fighting a guy that I still think is very, very good in Canelo. The reason I give Crawford a chance is because A, it's Terence Crawford and he's unbeaten, but B, I think Canelo's slipped just enough for me to think this is a real fight. This isn't Canelo that fought Golovkin second time round. I thought that was almost the best Canelo I've ever seen. It isn't that anymore. I've watched his last couple of fights. I've been lucky enough to have been at a few recent fights. The Bivol fight's taken something out of him. He doesn't throw punches and combinations. His feet have slowed just a little bit. And Crawford does throw combinations, and Crawford has really good feet.